Hi, I'm Matt from Precision Armament, and today we're going to discuss installing a muzzle device on your rifle with our new AccuWasher Gen 2 system. So since we're going to be working on this firearm and working on the muzzle of this firearm, we want to ensure that the firearm is safe. So first thing we're going to do is visually inspect the chamber, and there is nothing in the chamber. There is no magazine inserted. The weapon is on safe. Just to take it a step further, we don't need the bolt. We're just going to take the bolt right out. So let's get started with installing our device. Very first thing we recommend you do is clean your muzzle threads. You get a little carbon buildup, you get some debris in these fine threads, and the device will not screw on nicely, and you really don't want to cross thread or cause any problems there. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to identify the threads on our barrel, which in this situation is a half 28, and then make sure we have a half 28 kit. Now, a half 28 kit will come with 18 shims in it, and what we want to do is start with the largest shim in the kit, and that's going to be considered our indexing shim. So in order to find that, you need to understand the coding on the side of these. The shims have a code of a thick dash and a thin dash. And the thick dash will represent a 5, the thin dash will represent a 1. So if we were looking for a shim number 11, we would want 2 thick dashes and 1 thin dash. So we have the 18 shim identified. Now, if you were to flip this shim over, you'll notice that there's an ID chamfer on one side and not the other. That chamfer is meant to go against the shoulder of the barrel to accommodate any radius or chamfer left behind during machining. So what we're going to do is slide that number 18 shim onto the barrel, and then I would recommend that you find the back of your pack. There's a QR code, and that'll take you to our instruction manual. And the back of our instruction manual is a timing chart that will correspond to a 28 pitch, which is what we have. That timing chart simplifies the process of identifying what shim you need in order to time your device properly. So if you print it out and cut out the chart, it makes it really easy for you. Slide over the barrel, then install your muzzle device. Now, the muzzle device needs to be timed properly so that the porting on the top of the device in this situation is straight up. So you're going to tighten it up and notice that the porting in this situation is down. No gut, right? We've got to time this so it stops in this position. So here's where the timing chart comes in. Tighten your brake up. Look along the top of your brake and you'll notice that it corresponds with a number 10 shim, which is 2 large dashes. So we're going to go ahead and take the brake off. Remove the chart. We don't need that anymore. Now we're going to remove the indexing shimmer, the number 18, the number 10. Install it with the chamfer in towards the barrel shoulder. And then we're going to install our brake again. Now, the brake will not stop perfectly timed, and that's by design. You need to apply a torque to the muzzle device so that it stays put and doesn't come loose on you. So if you were to have it stop perfectly lined up, it would not be tight enough to stay in position. So what we have is about a 20-degree rotation prior to where we want it to land. The next step is we're going to go ahead and secure the firearm so that we can apply torque to the end of the muzzle. A rugged bipod is a good way to do that, as long as you can lock out the cant. Another way to do it is to just lie the firearm sideways and maybe have somebody hold it down. Or if you have a magazine, they sell magazine blocks that can be put into a bench vise. All of those work great. For us, we've got a good rugged bipod, so we're going to go that route. So we're going to go ahead and grab a adjustable wrench because we have it here. If you have an armorer's wrench that fits your brake or an open-end wrench, that'll all work fine. We recommend that you use a piece of paper in between the wrench and the brake body, and that way you protect the finish on it. You won't leave any marks or scratches on it. I just take a sheet of paper, cut it, fold it in half, and then I slide it in between the wrench and the brake, and we're ready to go. So with the bipod, I'm going to hold on, and I'm just going to start tightening it up until it is flat and level. A little bit more. Check it out. Perfect. So with the Gen 2 AccuWasher system, we've introduced adapters. With the use of an adapter, you can now better match the contour of your barrel. We can install a 5/8 or even a 3/4 on the same barrel thread. So depending on your barrel, you can now choose a shim that matches your barrel and makes it look nice and clean. Okay, so to install the adapter, first thing we'll do is we'll identify the side that has the chamfer. One side has an ID chamfer, like our shim system, so that's going to go on first. Now, because of the barrel diameter, with these 1/2-inch threads, we decided that the 1/2-inch shim system was too small and didn't look as nice as it could. So we have decided that the 5/8 shim system will match the diameter of this barrel perfectly. So we have a 5/8 to 1/2-inch adapter on the barrel now. So now we have to go and follow the same steps from before, where we take our timing chart, we put that on there, and then we grab the number 18, except this is the 18 shim for the 5/8 kit, where before we had the 18 shim for the 1/2-inch kit. That gets installed right on top of the adapter, and then we're going to go ahead and tighten it up again, just till it contacts. And now in this situation, with everything level, the number 18 shim is the one that we need to time this device. So that happens once in a while. We don't have to now look for a different shim. We have the right one already on there because the shim that we need just turns out to be the indexing shim. So we remove our chart. We're going to go ahead and install the device. And it lands about 20 degrees prior to where we want it, which is our pre-torque position. So it's perfect. So next, we're going to grab our paper and our adjustable wrench. We're going to protect the finish like before. Hold on to the firearm, and then we're going to tighten it up until it's nice and level. Right there. So again, we've done everything we need to do. We have timed the device, we've torqued it properly, it's aligned the way it needs to be, and now the diameter with the use of our adapter in our Gen 2 system matches the contour of the barrel much better, so it is just more aesthetically pleasing. Okay, so that is how we properly install a muzzle device using our Gen 2 AccuWasher system. If you have any further questions, please feel free to call, email, or leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.